Good morning, everyone. There were some problems with the videos yesterday, so I'm having to redo them, and it seems like the street noises are pretty loud today, so we may just have to suffer through them. So let's talk a bit about receiving. And receiving is one of those places where people get a little hung up. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, well, I ask and I ask and I ask, but I never receive, so the universe is not supporting me. Well, the universe does give us what we ask for, but the problem is often we don't receive it. And I know that's hard for people to look at, but receiving is one of those very difficult things. And one of the things with receiving is we all receive differently. We receive due to our childhood, our background, our socioeconomic status, all the traumas in life, that all creates a pattern of how we receive. And many people, their expectations prevent them from receiving. I can't tell you how many people I know who ask for something and they get it in their mind that it's just coming one particular way. So all they can see is that one way. But the problem is the universe is trying to give it to them in other easier ways, but they can't see it because they're so focused on the way that they think it's going to come. So is that you? So letting go of receiving and getting to the bottom of how we receive can really help us receive more. And so for this, I chose lightning bolts. And I love lightning because lightning is about quickness and speed. And I love lightning. I enjoy a wonderful lightning storm. We don't have very many where I am, but I love going to the Midwest and watching them. So let's do a little bit of experiment here. Which one of these jumps out at you? Which one gets your attention? And we'll go left to right. Like, is it this one? Is it this one? This one? Or this one? So look at them again. If you had to choose one, which one would it be? Okay, so let's start here. This is agate, and agate's a very common stone. Agate is a stone of support and encouragement. So are you looking to have more support and encouragement? So if this jumped out at you, take some time and look. Where do you feel you're not being supported? Where are you not getting encouragement? Sometimes, though, what I find is the problem can be that we're not giving it. Sometimes giving it unlocks the energy. So is there someone in your life that you would like to support or encourage or who's asking for it, but you haven't been able to do so? Really look at that and see what comes up for you. Now, this is cotton candy agate. And do you like cotton candy? Cotton candy reminds me of the old fairs. And I love the old cotton candy machine. In fact, I went to a stone show a couple of years ago and they had a cotton candy machine, which I thought was awesome. So that can be fun, that can be joy, that can be childish playfulness. So just kind of look at that. This one, the second one, is blue opal. And blue opal is about communication and creativity. It's about speaking your mind. Now, communication is really important because what I have found is many times your communication with human skills mirrors your communication with your spirit skills. Are you in good communication with your spirit guides? Just see if you need to improve that and what new communication can you receive from humans and spirit guides. A lot of the times what I find with people is I will be somewhere and I will overhear something that makes all the difference. Is that you? Creativity is wonderful. It's a very powerful energy. Are you using your creativity? Sometimes people think that they don't have love, they don't have money, because they just don't have any way to bring it in. Well, if you chose this stone, look at your creativity. We live in a world where you can have anything you want. There's a million ways to make money, a million ways to create love. So allow yourself to let go of all the negativity with your creativity and use it. Another thing about creativity that's important is that if you have an awful lot of it and you don't use it, it can cause depression. I've seen this over and over because it's just such a powerful force. So if you are feeling depressed, get out your creativity and use it to help you create what you want to create. And also speaking your mind. Is there any place in your life where you're not speaking your mind? Now's the time to do that. Red tiger's eye. I love red tiger's eye. It's one of my favorite stones. And what it does is it powers the lower chakras. It's about confidence and self-esteem and motivation. So, are you needing some confidence? Allow yourself to be confident. And a lot of times people don't allow confidence because they don't want to be arrogant. But there's a big difference between confidence and arrogance. So spend some time looking at that and getting those two definitions separate. And how is your self-esteem? When things aren't going very well, many times our self-esteem suffers too. So what can you do to build up your self-esteem? What can you do to make yourself feel good about you? Sometimes what that is just simply allowing yourself to receive compliments from others. Many times people tell us wonderful things about ourselves, but we don't receive them. So what good things can you hear about you? And what new motivations can you create to love, to be happy, to be you? Awesome. The fourth one, is Chrysocolla. I love that. It's one of my favorite ones too. It is a calming stone. It clears and it re-energizes chakras. It's about removing guilt, heartache, and increases capacities to love. Boy, that sounds very good, doesn't it? So, do you have some guilt? Let's let all that go. Do you feel like your chakras need to be cleansed and re-energized? There's a lot of wonderful meditations on that, and I would recommend that you at least have some sort of regular practice to clear your chakras, whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to be long. Do you have some heartache that you're just not willing to look at? What if you just allowed yourself to look at it without being affected by it? And capacities to love. How awesome would it be if you stepped into a love energy that is beyond what you ever thought possible for you? Awesome. So feel free to tap into the power of any of these. And I tell you, I love my Play-Doh. I love my colored Play-Doh. In case any of you are wondering what that is, because it does look like other things, but it's brown Play-Doh. And I always use, or not always, but most of the times, I use handmade silk paper because I love the energy and luxury of silk. So awesome.